Hello, algebra students. Let's review solving proportions. So first of all, why do I even say proportions in the first place? Remember what proportions are? They're equal relationships. So it's when we see a fraction, which is a relationship between two numbers, one way to think about a fraction, equal to another fraction. Hey, that is a proportion, and that is when we were allowed to find what we called cross products. We said cross products are equivalent, i.e. you can cross multiply. Let's do it. Let's multiply the numerator of one side of the equal sign with the denominator of the other. So 3 times n is 3n, and that's going to be equivalent, equal to, don't drop your equal sign, the other cross product. Let's see, 4 times 18. 4 times 10 is 40, 4 times 8 is 32, 72, and yes, you can use a calculator. All right, n's not alone. We got rid of our little fraction problem, but we still need to isolate n. So there's a 3 hanging out. I'll divide that 3 away since it's multiplying. I can do whatever I want as long as I do it to both sides. Multiplying and dividing by 3 cancel. N's alone just like I wanted. And let's see, 3 goes into 7 twice, remainder 1. 3 goes into 12 4 times. I get n is equal to 24. And if you want to know that little nifty trick, it's in the sight division video, or use your calculator. All right, next one might look a little more complicated, but I still see it's a fraction equal to a fraction. It's a proportion problem, and so I can use that fact that in a proportion, cross products are equivalent. So 10 times 2f would be 20f. And that's going to be equivalent to, don't lose your equal sign or you lose your power to solve, the other cross product, 16 times 5. So 5 times 10 is 50, 6 times 5 is 30, we get 80. Lovely, we got rid of our fraction problem, but f is not alone. It's being multiplied by 20, so I'll divide it away. I can do whatever I want as long as I do it to both sides. Multiplying and dividing by 20 are opposites, they cancel. F's alone just like I wanted, and 80 divided by 20 is 4. So what would f have to be for the original proportion there to be true? F would have to be 4. All right, next one might not look like a proportion problem, but it is, because remember well, I shouldn't say but it is, but it can be thought of as that way because any whole number, any regular plain old number can be turned into a fraction by throwing it over 1. So it's definitely one way to think about this problem. Or you can just think about this problem as, I want to free this t minus 16 grouping from the divided by 3. And so I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to multiply by 3. Either way that you consider that, you're going to get the same first step. Because look, 3 times 13t is 9t. And t minus 16 times that invisible 1, well, hello, anything times 1 is itself. So we get the equation 9t is equal to t minus 16. Now, this is clearly more complex than the last example, and that's fine. I don't see any simplifying I can do on the left-hand side. 9 times t I can't make any simpler. And I don't see any simplifying I can do on the right-hand side. T minus 16 I can't make any simpler. So that first step of our wisdom principles, or that first wisdom principle, which is simplify before you start solving, that's not going to help us here. But I do see the need for the second one. Take a look how there's a t on the left and a t on the right of the equal sign. I want to get those t's together before I start messing around with the numbers. So I think what I'll do is I'll bring this single t from the right and bring it to the left. Now, yes, this t is subtracting. We see t minus 16. It is a term. It's something adding and subtracting. But since the t itself is positive, I have to subtract it away. And I will do that to both sides. Common error to try to add it away. But it's not t plus t is not going to go away. T minus t will. So like I said, t minus t will go away. I don't know why I changed colors, leaving me with no t's, but what will be left? I have nothing minus 16 or just negative 16. If I have no money and I borrow $16, now I'm in debt 16. And 9t minus a t gives me 8t. And now we are coming to the reason why I'm having to remake this video. This is my second take because I made a sign error. So let's see. I want to isolate that t, get it alone. It has an 8 multiplying, so I'll divide by 8. I can do whatever I want as long as I do it to the other side. Multiplying and dividing by 8 are opposites. They cancel. T's alone, just like I wanted. And negative 16 divided by 8 is -2, negative. Even the math teacher can drop negatives, which means y'all should watch out for that. All right, you guys, lovely job. I gotta say, probably if this comes up on the GED, it's gonna be the simplest example. So that's good news. It's nice to push your understanding with the other two, but even if all you really feel super confident with is that left one, you still might be GED ready, okay? They don't tend towards super complex proportion problems. All right, you guys, strong work. Proud of you. Happy learning.